So welcome back to another episode of Build and Drive. Today I'm going to show you all the tools and accessories that I've accumulated over the years that have been super helpful in my BMW E90. So it is almost Christmas time and shopping season is upon us. I wanted to share with you guys some good tools and other accessories that I keep in my car that have been really helpful when I've broken down on the side of the road, or just to keep my seat warm and my phone charged. So if you guys want to check out all the stuff that I'm talking about, it'll be Amazon links down below. When you do use the link, I do get a small commission, and all of that money is going towards building up this car. I'm midway through editing my track day build, and that is coming out soon. Subscribe if you guys want to see that, and turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss it. But let's jump into all the parts, tools, and accessories that I've collected that live currently in my BMW. So first things first, I do have this BMW Jack. These do come with every car, I believe, and it's a nice low profile jack that you can use on the side of the road. It does connect into the jack pad mounting point, which is quite nice if yours aren't all chewed up like mine. Really great to have. Has a little stopper that comes with it, fits in the trunk. A+. Highly recommend you guys get one of these in case you break down. No need bringing a massive jack with you. Love this, low profile, easy to use. I also have some tow hooks. I bought these for when I go to the track, easy to plug in. And here's the stock one for reference. Doesn't really pivot or anything like that. Really like these. These are inexpensive. Next thing, probably the most useful thing I've ever purchased, is a 600 millimeter breaker bar, 1/2 inch, and a 17 millimeter deep socket. I use these for torquing down my wheels all the time, especially when I'm going to the track. I keep this with me at all times. It helps me to torque everything down, make sure everything is tight. Don't over torque things though. I do have a lot of experience torquing wheels, so I know I do it by feel. I don't need a torque wrench, but just if you torque it down too much, you can break one of your wheel lug studs, I guess they are on a BMW. They're not nuts, so please be careful when doing this. But definitely breaker bar, I use it all the time. To go with that, I do carry around one of these studs in my glove box at all times, just in case I do break one. I want access to another one to throw on there, just in case, because when we go to the track, we are putting a lot of G's on the wheels. And this is a special long version because this car had these H&R wheel spacer plates that go in to make the car a bit wider. So you need a bit extra length in your wheel stud. These aren't so easy to come by. The stock ones are quite a bit smaller, so I always carry around an extra one just in case these break. So I think first things first, I do carry around a set of tools with me. I can't find them all right this second, but I'll put it on screen. I carry around a socket set, I carry around some wrenches, carry around some screwdriver stuff. It all fits in the boot. It's low profile, compact, really nice to have. I'll throw up an example of what I use, but pretty much just find something that's reasonable for you at the best price for you. Always get the torque sockets, because that's what you do use most of the time on BMWs. So that's the important part. Sticking here over at the wheel, I do have some brake hose. You need 7 millimeter inner diameter brake hose in order to bleed the brakes. I just keep a bit of hose with me in the trunk just in case at the track I need to bleed the brakes or something like that. So many times I've been out and at the track, and for some reason my brakes fade or I lose pressure, and I know, okay, there's some air in there for some reason. We just did the brake lines on this thing with some steel braided brake lines, so I wanted to make sure that I had the ability to bleed the brakes if I needed to. So I just carry around this. Super easy, super simple. Find a Coke can or a water bottle and you can bleed the brakes. I do use type ATE 200 brake fluid, but if you want something more hardcore, you can use like a Motul 600 or something like that. Which leads me then into this guy. If you've ever had to remove your brake calipers, again, if my brake pads are finished at the track, this with the little neck here, I'll have to look up what this is called exactly. This makes it so much easier to take off your brake calipers. It is an 18, then using something like that, this little step in the wrench, I mean, it's a game changer. Helps you to get in there. You don't then need because you can't get your breaker bar in there, you need something a bit bigger than just one of these simple wrenches. Get one of these. Super helpful in getting doing a brake job. even if you are just going to do a brake job. I highly recommend. I did my brakes a couple times and then learned about this. Super helpful. I just bought this one specifically for this purpose, and it lives in my trunk. So can't recommend this enough to do your brake calipers. Next, we'll move on to belt. This is another super easy repair that you can do yourself. You need a T60 Torx bit, and I just put it on a 1/2 inch adapter here, and it attaches to my breaker bar. This helps me to swap out my my serpentine belt if needed. This serpentine belt, as you can see, it saw some red line action and it got chewed up. My AC pump, I think, seized and tore a bit out of the belt, but it still worked fine. It got me home, but I did replace it. I now keep this in the trunk just as a spare because it is in great shape. Didn't have so many kilometers on it. It's not cracking or anything. I just throw this in my trunk and keep it with me. And then I also bought this. It's a 6PK 1100 belt. It's much shorter than this belt, and it helps you bypass your AC just in case your AC seizes like mine did. You'll be able to bypass the AC and get yourself home. Breaker bar, T60, and some belts. Super easy way to prevent you from having to get a tow truck or someone else coming out to try and fix your car. At least you can get it home in a pinch. Super recommended. Trust me, I had to learn the hard way. Keep this stuff in your trunk. Really helpful. And since we are talking about wheels, I do carry this around in my center console. It's for when I go to the track. I check my tire pressure. It's super quick and easy. Just you come off the track, check and see if what pressures your tires at. You don't want your pressures to be too high, because then you'll be sliding all over the place, oversteering, understeering as your tires heat up. If you have air in your tires, like normal air, not nitrogen, they do expand and the pressure increases. So this was a nice way for me to just quickly check my tire pressures and go out there and keep having fun without having to lose so much traction like I did in the past. Of course, these aren't my wheels. My racing wheels are over there. And if you do watch my track videos coming up, you'll know why. Here, I'll just show you. You'll know why we didn't make it to the end, but more on that later. You guys will have to tune in and see what happened exactly. So subscribe. So the next part of this video, I mean, literally, I bought the car. It had old, probably original coil packs, and I'd be driving down the road on the highway, all of a sudden get a misfire, after leaning on the engine a bit. Didn't know why. Car would get me home and I'd realize coil pack was dying. So I bought one new coil pack at a time, but they all started to go bad around the same time. I eventually just swapped them all out. I keep 2 of the used ones in here just in case one of them goes bad on the car. I have 2 used spare ones that I can just swap them out. If you do have a misfire and you suspect it's a coil, it's really easy. I'll show you. It's really easy to just grab one of the coils, swap its position, clear the code, and run the car again. If you get the misfire on another bank, that means that coil that you swapped is going bad. So I carry around 2 used coils just in case that happens, because it's super easy. You're on the side of the road, you can just swap it out really quick. Don't burn your hands, your engine gets hot. And then in case it's the spark plug, I have a bunch of spark plugs laying around, probably in better condition than this, but I sanded down the tip to clean it up. This is just a NGK, I think. NGK spark plug, yeah, iridium spark plug. I'll put the part number and links to those down below. You can also get Bosch ones I've had, which are fine, but you need an extension and one of these spark plug deep sockets. It's so that it can hold the spark plug in place. Here, I'll show you. Just like this. So when you're taking it out, it doesn't fall out. It picks it up and you can pull the spark plug out. You will need a little bit of a deep socket, and I just use a ratchet. I don't use my breaker bar for this. You don't need that much. Just put my ratchet on here, and in case you have a bad spark plug or a clogged one, because back in the day my car was burning so much oil. We had to rebuild the engine, and that's on my channel if you want to check that out. I'll show you guys how to rebuild an M52. My cylinder 3 was burning so much oil that it was caking my spark plugs were absolutely cooked after only 5,000 kilometers, and maybe this was one of them. But extension, spark plug socket, spark plug, and some coils can get you back on the road in a pinch in case you break down or get misfires or something. And here is another thing. I mean, I use this almost weekly. I know this is the old one, but I can't recommend Carli enough. I know it's like $100. I'm going to put a link down below if you do want a Carli adapter. I cannot recommend this enough. I use this every single week in the car to check codes, because you know, BMW life, we're always having codes and issues pop up. Super easy to connect to the car, and it just has been like so helpful diagnosing things over the years. I've had it for now, I want to say 4 years. This is the older version, but they have a newer version that was just released. Again, I'll put a link down below. If you guys could use that, I would greatly appreciate it. I can't recommend this tool enough, especially in the long run. If you're going to keep your BMW for a couple years, this has paid for itself so many times over. Especially, like, for example, I bought a battery, needed to code the battery to the car. You know, we did the rebuild project. I had codes up the wazoo for weeks after that. Diagnosing it was a breeze, because it'll give you the code and then you can Google it after that. You know, all of our Vanos issues, all of our DISA issues, all of that was resolved just by being able to read the codes. And Carli also gives you the option to have this smart mechanic feature, which will Google the codes for you and give you some ideas on what could be the problem, so you don't have to do the Googling. So can't recommend it enough. If you guys can use the link below, I would greatly appreciate it. So now, I used to carry these around quite a bit. They do live in my trunk, but booster cables. I bought these like 7 years ago, and I use them maybe once a year. Not normally on my car, but normally on a friend's car. I should have just bought one of those battery packs that can give your car a boost. Here's your negative terminal on the E90, and here's the positive terminal. You could just hook it up here and get the car started. It also like charges your phone or as a flashlight or whatever. I have a video, I have a link to what Project Farm recommends. He did a whole video on booster packs. I think that will be my next purchase. They're about $100. The Gulu GP 4000 or whatever. I think I'm gonna get that one. But just shop around, pick one that works for you. I do use this sometimes. And then, as you can see, I have my Noco charger. I don't think they make this version anymore. It's called something different. But literally, my friend's battery died. My friend's car wouldn't start. We boosted him with the booster cables, and then the battery ended up being at like 60% anyway, 70%. I came home and charged it up, tried it again. This has a cell going bad, so rather than spending the money on booster cables and a charger, I should have just got the booster battery pack. I guess that'll be my next purchase. Although this stuff is helpful, I'll put links to it below, but it's up to you. If you're charging a lot of batteries, you know, I use this maybe 2-3 times a year, but kind of a waste of space. Okay, going to the back of the car. This is probably the #1 purchase that I've made for this car. It's just a rubber mat that sits here in the back. You can see how dirty this gets. This is just from my baby stroller. I have kids, so we're always using the stroller and going out and about. And look how clean it is underneath. It's pretty clean except for the corners there. But you just take this out, dust it off, rinse it off, brush it off, whatever, throw it back in. Super, super, super helpful. This was only like $40 or something like that. Find the right one that fits your car. And then this I just found out about not too long ago. It's one of these nets. These Velcro nets. All this stuff used to fly around all the time. You know, my first aid kit and in Germany you have to have this like pouch thing you wear on the side of the road in case you break down. Super helpful. This has kept all my stuff in here. You know, there's my triangle that's supposed to sit up here, but it just keeps falling. There you go. See, it just falls off. There's the other piece for it. So Velcro strap, Velcro net. Shop around, get a good deal on one. I'll try and find one for you below. This was only like $20, and Super, super, super helpful. Don't know why BMW didn't just put something there, but whatever. And of course I have oil. If you know what this brand is, that's not what's in here. I just used a bottle to fill it up with a liter of oil because my car's still drinking oil like crazy. And here's some more tools. What else I got there? Wrench. I also have some snips somewhere. This is so helpful. I'll show you what I use this for. So during the rebuild, I don't know if I can show you here, but down here where that little wire is, that's the trigger wire for the starter. Can I zoom in on that? That's a trigger wire for the starter. As you can see, there are two little metal clips back there. And I can't tell you how many times, 2 or 3 times, this thing has popped out. And to get at that, you got to take apart the whole intake just to plug in that little fitting there, that little plastic plug. And it was crazy. So what I did was I just went on Amazon. What you can do is you can maneuver the plug, grab it, and click it in. And so I now carry around this with me all the time. Super helpful. Long needle nose pliers. Who would have thought? Saved me an hour from taking off the intake and putting it back on. And I have a little pry bar. You can get at these little clips to take off stuff. I mean, as you can see, it's well used. I just use it for various things. Super helpful. Okay, going into the car, this also was a super great purchase. This is the Kingalingting heated seat, and it just runs off your 12-volt cigarette lighter socket thing. Now, I ordered a different one that came all the way out to the edge of the seat, but it like doesn't fit properly, and it made you feel like you were sitting on a giant cushion and like sat you up in the seat, which was ridiculous. But these fit perfectly in between, especially if you have the sports seats. Fits perfectly in between the lumbar supports and works really well. One of them died about 3 years, after about 3 years of use, probably on the driver's side because I was getting in and out the most. But I just bought another one. They were about 50 bucks each, but just shop around. If you have the sports seats, I can highly recommend this design. They just like clip in on the bottom and clip in on the top here. Super, super, super helpful, and they work great. The leather seats are cold in the winter, and this was definitely a win for this car. My wife always complained that she was cold in the seat, so this was definitely a win. And in here, I'll show you the next one. I do have a Bluetooth MPOW Bluetooth to 3.5-inch jack adapter. Super helpful for getting your Spotify and stuff in there. And then this guy, I know you guys have seen these before, but this one is a output DC 5-volt 3.4 amp max, and it goes to 100 watts charging supposedly. I don't think it does that much, but I've always had some trouble with these little cigarette lighter chargers, them just not charging my phone. They could maintain the phone while it was on Google Maps, but not charge it. And we've run into so many issues traveling around. You know, when we drove to Italy, or when we drive to a different city and it's more than a couple hours away, our phones would run dead and couldn't charge them back up again. But with this Type-C charger, I can't recommend this enough. Go and get one of these if you have a USB-C type charger. This thing charges the phone. Super helpful. No more frustrations with the USB cable, and you have also the USB port so that you can run your Bluetooth adapter. This was definitely a win. I'll try and find something similar. I believe I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks, but I'll check and see again where I got it from and put a link down below. So here's one accessory I do not recommend you guys buy. It's one of those metallic drain plugs with the magnet on the end of them. Mine disintegrated after about a year or 2 years. I used it maybe 3 times. I didn't even torque it that hard, and it just came apart. I think the heating and cooling of this thing just broke it, and I really struggled to get this piece. Was stuck in my oil pan for the day. Don't get these, or if you get them, only use them once and then throw them away. I mean, they're only like $5 each. I just took a magnet and put it on the end of my steel drain plug, and that's been working fine now ever since. So save yourself some hassle. Don't buy these. Terrible, terrible, terrible product. And of course, I carry around like some screwdrivers or a screwdriver set, and some tin snips, and some zip ties and these picks come in handy from time to time. If you got an O-ring that you need to replace or something, I just carry it around with me. But yeah, I think I know I'm forgetting something. Place your accessory fuse on your BMW. But this is basically everything that I carry around with me in the car. So I have been looking at a bunch of project cars, or what's the future of the channel after my track build series. If you guys have any ideas, please comment down below. I am saving up for that. So hopefully next year we can do something cool with this channel. I'm open to suggestions, put them down in the comments below. And if I've missed any accessories or things that you guys feel or that you guys use on a daily basis that have been super helpful in keeping your E90s on the road, please put that down in the comments below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.